Palatine, kingdom of fat priests and wealthy merchants. A survivor of plagues and wars, and only stronger for it. Rachin wonders if the kingdom will ever truly fall.
They say Lord Garish Ree saved Haven from pirates, but this one...
I was quite popular in Rimmon, you know. There was always demand for every painting I created. Always patrons wanting more and more. That's why I came here. To get away from it all. No more requests, no more noise. Just the quiet countryside.
Have you heard that Raz is back in town? Minshak has heard. It seems all of Maryvale is talking about this one's old friend. But has he come to visit Minshak? No, not even once.
There's always the need for moon sugar, Walker. Every Khajiit recipe, from our meats to our sweets, calls for it. So even Maryvale's smaller farms never worry too much about profits.
Work! Farmhands needed at Mother's farm! You saw Roxargo's flyers, yes? Mother had him post them across the valley. Help wanted for Sweetwater Farmstead. Ah, Sweetwater, our home sweet home. Are you interested in a job? We need more farmhands. You see, our farmhands have gone missing lately. So, we need more. You ask a lot of questions, yes? Mother just told me to stand here and find more farmhands. So I did. You have questions? Talk to Mother at our farm. Her name is Kideya, though you should call her ma'am. That is only polite, yes? The farm is just up the road north of here. And don't worry if Mother seems cross. Roxargo's brother came home for a visit, and they have been arguing. The farmhands left. This one does not know why. Mother was very upset, so Roxargo offered to hang the flyers. And look, it worked! You came to help our farm. This one remembers that Verani was very unhappy. Kept talking about wanting to leave, but she is the only one, he thinks. If Verani does not return, Roxargo gets to keep her hand mirror. So he has that at least. Yes, it is a moon sugar farm. Very big, very busy. Well, was busy. Roxargo is the only one left to help now. His brother, well, brother only visits. Not very good at farm work. Oh yes, Mother wants brother to stay and help with the farm. It is our family's farm after all. But brother, well, he does not wish this. Roxargo does not know why. What sleeker home can be found than in Maryvale?
Endar's fingers, what now?
I used to run with the Red Hands back in my youth. But the day I stepped into Maryville is the day I gave it all up. Now I'm happily retired and married to the love of my life. How's that for a redemption arc?
Did you hear that Razandar is back in town? Oh, it's been years since Majadi saw him. And now he's back, handsomer than ever. This one didn't even think it was possible.
Kidea means no rudeness. But she hasn't time for visitors today. Best to seek company elsewhere, yes? It is true. Workers were happy and plentiful. But now? Moons be praised if half our workforce remains. You look clever. Perhaps you could investigate our missing farmhands? Mizum, owner of Fragrant Moon's plantation, sought to buy our farm after the last harvest. This one refused. Kidea suspects he now bribes away her workers in order to make this one desperate enough to sell. So kind of you to offer. But take Kidea's eldest son with you, yes? He returned home recently from Moon's Nowhere, and now he lies about like a slug. Find the lazy Khajiit in the cave up the hill, just north of the farm. It's about time Kidea's layabout son helped around here. He may be clever, yes, but when it comes to farm work, you would never believe he was born and raised in Maryville. At least Roxargo has the decency to help his poor mother. He is the oldest farmer in this valley. Been growing cane since this one was a kitten, and Kidea is now not as young as she once was. But make no mistake, Mizum's mind remains as sharp as a serpent's fang. It is possible. No workers means no crops, no profits. Who benefits from this? Mizum, who has wanted to buy Sweetwater for many years. No. Accusing Mizum with no proof would only give him an opportunity to smear Kidea's name. Bad for business. That is why she sends you to find evidence. Only then can she confront Mizum. Yes, he hasn't lifted a paw around the farm since he came home. He's a traveler, he tells me. But where does he go? What does he do? All he says is that he cannot say. Just like his father, that one. For better and worse. Kidea loves her little rascal, of course. But why can't he stay at home and help around the farm? As the eldest, this farm should go to him when this one... Oh, no. Apologies. Kidea did not mean to bring up such matters.
Mother! Roxargo found a new farmhand!
Yes, sweet one, thank you. They're going to look into our troubles right after they wake up your brother.
Brother is still sleeping? Roxargo rose at dawn and has been working hard all day!
If only your brother were as dutiful as you.
The moons tend to shine a little brighter on Maryville, yes? Everyone looks after each other in this town. And when you are as small as Lanasi, friendly neighbors make all the difference.
Everyone says the farmhands are just leaving. But why haven't any of them said farewell? Why do they leave their possessions behind?
There's something in the sugarcane. Jazari knows it.
What? Who is there? This one's head may ache, but that does not mean he cannot defend himself. Five Claw? Raz thought he recognized you. Moons only know what brings you to this backwater place, but it is always good to see a friend. Raz would offer you wine, but he has unfortunately drank it all. Perhaps you have some? She would trust Raz with such a task? That does not sound like Mother. Unless she just wants to get Raz out of this cave. No, don't answer that. Well, anything is better than farm work, yes? Raz will be happy to help. Mizum has wanted to get his paws on Sweetwater for years. If Mother can't keep the farm operating, Mizum can buy it and gain control of the valley's moon sugar cane. We need proof. Meet Raz outside the Fragrant Moon's plantation. At last! Something here that's worthy of Raz's attention. Let's get to the Fragrant Moon's plantation and see what we can dig up. Mizum's farm occupies the southern side of the valley. The big house with the walls around it. Old Mizum is a miser. Doesn't want anyone interrupting him while he counts his gold. Raz will meet you there. You have met Raz's family, yes? Mother has never approved of this one's occupation. She suspects he is a wandering beggar or some such nonsense. As you can imagine, this puts quite a strain on our relationship. Roxargo is... he has been at Mother's side for far too long, tied to her apron strings. Besides, he has a particular disposition. Raz watched him lick an entire bowl of marbles once, all because this one told him that one of them was candy. You do realize that Raz's position as an Eye of the Queen is a secret, yes? Only those who need to know can ever be told the truth. My family? They don't need to know. Besides, they would never believe such a thing. They know that some young high elf convinced Raz to leave home and go on an adventure. But that was before Irene was queen. Mother thinks that her eldest son abandoned her to chase after a pretty face. She isn't completely wrong. Queen Irene insisted that Raz take a vacation after his last mission. Even the Eye of the Queen needs to blink now and then, she told him. So Raz returned to Elsweyr to spend some quality time with his family. Political as usual. Raz wanted to stick around and help clean up after the sea slaughs and Daedric incursions, but the proxy queen requested I leave the island. Too bad. This one was hoping to get to know her a little better. Ah, the lovely land of Gold Coast. And the equally lovely Naryu. If only more assassins had her particular assets. Raz's job would certainly be a lot more interesting. More difficult, yes, but far more interesting. The new man is settling in quite nicely. Unfortunately, trouble here in Northern Elsweyr has meant that the Speaker hasn't been able to provide as much guidance as he might like. Garesh Rhi has his hands full with the usurper queen and the dragons. Raz is glad you made it. He was about to proceed without you. Now remember, we need to be stealthy. The fewer guards that notice us, the fewer guards we'll have to kill, yes? Mercenaries, actually. In addition to gates and walls, Mizum hired the Red Hands to patrol his land. They're not the type to ask questions before they try to kill you. Best to slip in unseen. Ledgers, documents, contracts, anything that proves that Mizum bribed the farmhands. Or perhaps we will grow lucky and find a journal. Over the years, Raz has discovered that many villains enjoy documenting their nefarious plans. One more thing. Try to avoid unnecessary murder, yes? Not that the Red Hands deserve mercy, of course. But any messes you make, Raz will need to clean up. And Raz is on vacation. Besides, Mother wouldn't take kindly to killing the neighbors. Lead the way, Five Claw, but be stealthy. Raz will be right behind you. It's likely the mercenaries stick to regular patrol patterns. We can take advantage of that if we're observant. Just watch where they go and which direction they look. And if you spot a place to hide, use it. Mercenaries from Pelitin. Clawless thugs who will do anything for a price. Thievery, kidnapping, even murder. They also deal in the slave trade. Mizum must be truly desperate to hire them. So, moon sugar disappears from Mizum stores as well. Interesting. This creature was attacked by something unnatural. That much is clear.
First, Muzum loses moon sugar. Now his farmers won't work. What nonsense.
There is something out there, Mizum. Some sort of beast.
Bah! A beast! This one sees no beast. All he sees are lazy Khajiit who make up foolish lies.
The farmers of Maryvale are no strangers to... Let's return to Mother's farm and discuss what we learned. Old Mizum is dealing with missing moon sugar, scared farmhands, and a mysterious beast. Perhaps he and Mother suffered the same problem, yes? A creature prowls the sugarcane fields. Something far deadlier than a terror bird. If this is true, then Raz fears the missing farmhands reside in the belly of this beast. And so will many others, if we don't put a stop to it. You must visit Honeybreeze Homestead, another moon sugar farm in the valley. If Raz is right, Jedolthal will be suffering from the same problem as Mizum and Mother. The farmstead is just across the bridge, on the southern side of the valley. In the meantime, Raz will try to convince his family to stay out of the fields. Perhaps they will be reasonable today. That would be a welcome change, yes? Anything that proves this beast exists. Corpses, tracks, strange residue. With luck, Jedolthal will have even seen this creature. Him or one of his 3 lovely daughters. Ah, Jedolthal's daughters. Raz wonders if they still remember him. Does Raz seem like the type to kiss and tell? Well, not while sober, at least. Now that this one thinks about it, he may not have left things on the best footing in regards to the daughters, particularly when it comes to certain promises. Raz admits to succumbing to the folly of youth in his younger days, though after so many years, this one assumes they have forgotten about such things.
Rosalind, your mother sends you to find our missing farmhands, and this is where you end up? Our house?
We already searched Mizum's plantation. Raz came back to warn you about...
Excuses. And this one thought you learned more in your travels than which tavern served the cheapest ale.
You better go, Five Claw. This may take some time.
This is good meat. Raxargr would offer you some, but he dropped it earlier.
Perhaps you have been more helpful than this one's vagrant son. Delkidea, have you made any progress with our missing farmhands? And this one supposes that Razum was the one to suggest this plan? He just wants to make eyes at Jedothal's daughters, despite how much his own mother suffers. Fine, but you will watch him, yes? Make sure that Razum stays out of trouble. This one had enough hardship cleaning up his mess the first time he left us. At least the moon's blessed Kidea with one dutiful son.
Go ahead and live while you still can. Oh, if only Raz was so lucky.
Please! Someone help! A monster is attacking the farm! It cornered Jedathal, chased his daughters into the field. You have to help them. A monster! I heard it! It roared loud enough for Alkosh to hear. I ran, but the noise must have startled the local animals as well. A lion nearly took my arm! Please, you must help Jedathal. He is hiding just ahead.
Quickly, go on ahead and find Jedolthal. Raz will help our friend here.
Moons above, let Jedothal's family be safe. Please, please, Jedothal begs. You must rescue his 3 daughters from that horrid beast. They should just be west of here up the path. You must find them before that monster does. Jedothal was only able to catch a glimpse of it as he ran. But what he saw was unnatural. It was an enormous beast, with a mouthful of fangs and a thick leathery hide. Oh, Why has such a thing come to our peaceful home?
Have you seen my father, Jedothor? I've been searching for him, but I wasn't able to make it very far. Thank the moons. And have you possibly seen my two sisters? I seek them as well. Then I must ask you to find them and ensure their safety as you have ensured mine. For now, I will make my way back to my father.
Ah, the beautiful Banji. It is good to see you alive and well.
Raz? At last you have returned to me. Oh, I knew you would keep your promise.
Ah, yes. Raz is keeping his promise, of course.
I will be vigilant, yes. I will be very, very vigilant.
Raz will make sure she gets to safety. Best if you go on ahead, yes?
By the moons, you have to help me. A monster attacked our farm. My father ran, but I do not know what became of him. Oh, thank goodness. Have you seen my two sisters as well? We separated in our panic, and I fear for their safety. Oh, I'm happy to hear that, but I'm still worried about my remaining sister. Please, could you find her? Preferably before that monster does. Raz, you're here?
Of course. You are safe now, sweet Nura. Raz will get you to safety.
The two of us behind the mill reminds me of old times, old promises.
Let's talk about that later. Much later.
Please do not worry about me. I am a very fast runner.
Raz will make sure she gets to safety. Best if you go on ahead, yes?
These beasts should thank the moons that they found me without my bow. I'd make quick work of them if I had it on hand. Have you seen my father, by chance? He's a kind man, but not very quick. I fear he may have come to harm. Of course, I'll make sure he stays safe. Have you also seen my sisters? I tried my best to lead them to safety, but they scattered in their panic. That's good to hear. I was going to seek them out myself, but the monster is still close by. I didn't wish to attract its attention. I've hunted in Maryvale all my life, but never have I seen a creature like this. Large and leathery, with glowing eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Last I saw, it was headed to the cave further up the hill.
The fragrant Pashroni. Raz is glad to see you safe.
Hello, Raz. I didn't know you were back in Maryvale.
Well, yes. Come, let Raz lead you to safety.
Very well, but do not think you can just slip away again. We have much to talk about. Don't worry about me, Rook. Even without my bow, I still have claws.
Very good, my pet. That should distract
Sugar.
those farmers
Quick,
for quite a
Dolor,
while.
kill them at once.
Dark moons, a Daedra. Oh, Raz hates those things. Raz knew something was sour in Sweet Maryvale. Well, at least we know what happened to the missing farmhands. But why does a Daedra care about moonsugar? Then it is likely this mage must have summoned the Daedra. Wouldn't be too surprising if he was behind the missing moonsugar as well. Raz was able to question Jadathol while you dealt with our large friend over there. Our neighbor has also lost moonsugar this season, yet has seen no thieves. Let us return to Mother's farm and examine her storage cellar. If Mazum and Jadathol have been robbed, then Mother is likely the next target. And with luck, her cellar will show evidence of the theft. Despite Mizum and Jadathol's vigilance, the thieves we seek were never seen. Raz means to discover just how this is possible.
There they are! Moons be praised. Thank you both. Because of your help, this one's family is safe.
Raz is so pleased to see you and your daughters unharmed. All 3 of your daughters.
Yes, Raz. And all 3 of us have been talking quite a bit about you.
Specifically how you seem to have made certain promises to all of us.
Do you remember, Razamdar? Oh, this one will love you forever. This one will come back for you soon. This one only has eyes for you.
What? Raz, is this true?
Now, Raz can explain everything. You should head to Mother's cellar, while Raz clears up this misunderstanding. You must understand, this was many years ago, and Raz now has the maturity to admit that he was, in his youth, a complete and utter muskarse at times. In his defense, however, Raz did plan to choose but one daughter to woo. Eventually. Yes, well, this was only a short time before Raz left Maryvale, and as he had no intention of ever returning to this town, he did not see the harm in making certain promises. Promises he had no plans to keep, of course. Oh, Raz has talked his way out of stickier situations than this. Have no worries. For now, you should head to Mother's cellar. This one will try to meet you there as soon as he is able.
I don't know what I ever saw on Raz. I mean, just look at his stupid hair. I can't believe he kept it that way.
It might be best if you leave now, Rook. You played no part in this vagrant's betrayal.
If Raz hadn't just rescued my entire family, I'd have ripped the lungs out of his chest. Even so, he's certainly not leaving here unscathed.
Jadathol was curious as to why his daughters were so distraught when Raz first left. Now this one starts to paint the picture, yes?
Let us search for signs of thievery. And if Raz's family decides to poke their snouts in, ignore them. The less attention we... Raz used to come down here all the time. It was one of the few places he could hear himself think. This one even taught himself to play the lute. Mother never did like the sound of music. It reminded her of Father too much. Father left before Axargo was born, when this one was just a cub. so there's not much to speak of. But father, he played the lute very beautifully. This Raz remembers. Raz sees nothing out of the ordinary.
This is where you search for the farmhands? Our cellar? What? Are they hiding in the walls?
Raxargo usually isn't allowed in the cellar. The moon sugar is too tasty to resist.
Kidea won't have you two mucking about her stores, you hear? There is enough to do with so many farmhands missing. What are you even doing down here? Missing moon sugar? Well, it is true that Kidea has not inspected her stock these past few days. Too much has been going on. Do you believe someone is stealing from us? Dark moons. Kidea had no idea. Then you must continue your search. See if Kidea is also a victim of this heinous crime. And if you find any thieves, show them no mercy.
No clues to be found here, it seems. That is a rather ornate tapestry for this cellar. Mother, did you hang this?
What? No, of course not. Who would Mother be trying to impress? The cellar rats?
A secret passage, eh? Raz thought he felt a draft in here. This must be how the thieves could steal the moon sugar without being spotted. They tunnel directly into the storage cellars of the farms. If it wasn't highly illegal, Raz would be impressed. They are organized, that's for sure. They terrorize farmers with Daedra and missing farmhands, all to distract them from their missing moon sugar. And stolen moon sugar means only one thing. Skooma. The prize all criminal organizations hope to achieve by processing moon sugar. Raz thinks it's about time we confront these unwelcome thieves. Let them know just what Maryvale thinks of skooma smugglers. Just as Raz suspected. These caverns extend below the entire valley. Farmers used them to store tools and equipment before there was a series of cave-ins. They've been abandoned for decades. Raz was thinking the same thing. Given the size of these caverns, the thieves could have quite a large operation. Best if we move ahead quickly and see what we can find.
Well, look who we got here. Intruders. Oh, you're going to get in trouble. Why, you certainly have a lot of eyes. And they're different colors, too. Fancy that. Would you mind untying me? Itchy, and I just can't scratch. Don't know why Sivas tied me up. He's a mean, mean mage. I'm a smuggler. I'm smuggling. Well, at the moment I'm tied up, obviously. We're making skooma, see? Lots of skooma. Only I tripped into a barrel. Clumsy me. And now I am feeling so good. Besides the itching, of course. And Sivas tying me up. Boss man! He does all sorts of nasty things. Summons Daedra, steals from the kitty farmers, ties me up. You should give him a talking to. He's down in the caverns somewhere. Oh, he'll be mad that you're here, though. Really, really mad.
A skooma rig operated by a Daedra summoning mage. This one thinks we need to put an end to this. And Raz isn't even wearing his fancy leathers. The cave's branch here. You should follow the corridor, while Raz takes this side passage. We'll meet up farther ahead.
Think I left Cyrodiil for a few pieces of gold? We need to double our production. The time for stealth and subterfuge is ending. Soon we will launch a raid on the farms.
Yesterday's regrets become today's worries.
Patience, Tintin. Patience. We'll find the one who killed your brother and slay them alive.
There you are, Five Claw. Time to put an end to this skooma operation, yes? A skooma rig operated by...
You're the one interfering in my operation.
Sleek work, Five Claw. Now's our chance to end this, once and for all. Quite the investigation, yes? We infiltrated a heavily patrolled farmstead, saved 3 beautiful damsels, and dismantled the skooma operation. All in all, not a bad day's work. Ah, yes. Mother's docile screeching can lull Raz to sleep. Now, this one suspects that Mother would try to cheat you if you ask her for payment. So here, a reward from Raz's own pockets. Aren't you a lucky one?
Well, it seems you're good for something, at least.
Good for something? Raz took down an entire skooma operation for Jode's sake.
Razumdar, sir, I have an urgent message for you from Queen Irene.
A message for Raz? Ah! Who would waste the paper on him?
Raxarko, shush! Queen Irene? Razum, what is he talking about?
Raz's next assignment. It seems this one's vacation is over, Mother.
Already? But you only just arrived.
Well, Raz could stay for one last meal before he departs.
And letters? Will you write us letters?
Doesn't Raz always?
Don't mind me. Soon as Razumdar is ready to leave, I'll be out of your hair.
Seems that duty calls, thank the moons. Raz does not know if he would have survived another day with his oh-so-beloved family. Still, he can at least stay for one more meal. This may come as a surprise, Five Claw, but Raz has never been particularly fond of small-town life. The first opportunity this one had to leave, he took it. He still remembers that day. and is very thankful for it. Let's just say that it involved a certain high elf noble seeking adventure, 3 bottles of whiskey, and a small fire. Well, a large fire, but it was quickly contained. Irene certainly wasn't a queen back then, but Raz speaks too much, no? Perhaps he will tell you the tale another time, when there is far more wine and far fewer mothers about.
Kidea did not think Razum would be leaving so soon. But it seems he has important matters to attend to. Who is Kidea to deny the High Elf Queen? This one wonders, what exactly does her son do for the Queen? Yes, perhaps it is time to stop assuming the worst of this one's rascal, easy as that may be. Kidea will cook a nice dinner for her family tonight. Some fresh salmon sprinkled with moon sugar, perhaps. Just the way Razum likes it.
Roxargo never gets letters from tiny elves. Why does brother get to have all the fun?
You know, my mother was right. I should never have wished for a talking house cat. Now I'm riding herd on them.
Nobody interferes with our business! Nobody!
You come here looking for a fight? All right then, let's fight!
Tear them apart!
Just watch me! Nothing personal!
Cut them down!
With pleasure! Sister! You're going to pay for that! This won't be good for business.
Jacques, light my path through this madness. Jarl, spare a kindness for a priest of 2 moons. Hadoras is at the end of his rope, dangling by the scruff. This one returns from warning the speaker of the Main of a dire prophecy, only to find his fellow priests speaking little sense and doing even less, raving and rambling about our moon bishop's visions and growing more demented by the moment. She tells the priests to burn their moon sugar, so they do. She tells them to smear cheese upon the walls, so they do. She tells them to douse the temple fires with their tongues, so they do. I fear someone will die if this continues. Bright moons shine upon you, Walker. This one pursued his friend, Zarga, before you arrived. The fool chases a beast's young with a butterfly net, and woe unto him when their mother follows the commotion. Please, find Zarga before he is eaten. I last saw him run after the beasts into the wilderness to the west. I hoped he would not follow them into their den, but I would be a fool to believe that now. Since she was very young, her eyes have always been as bright as Joan and Jode. She has never led us astray. It's why she's Moon Bishop. But all this madness, something is not right. She foresaw the return of the dragons with a frightening clarity. I went to warn Lord Garesh Rhi on this dire prophecy, so it might reach the Main's ears. But I arrived too late. The dragons had already come. 2 moons at Tenmar is Hadaras's temple, a venerable house of Joan and Jode, a place of worship and wisdom, reduced to a den of fools chasing our Moon Bishop's fevered dreams. They don't question her visions. No matter how absurd the task, they leap at it with zeal. When I asked why they would do such things, they look at me as if I am the one who is crazy. A powerful and insidious spell to turn the whole temple on its head. But at least a spell may be broken. It's a small comfort to hope that their minds may not be truly lost.
This one has you now, pretty butterfly! I am going to need a bigger net! Oh no! You smashed it! Such pretty colors leaking out!
Ho-ho! You smashed that as flat as a flapjack! But who said you could play with my toys? Well, hello, my new playmate. Glad to find someone with their wits still about them. Too many crazies around here. I mean, what self-respecting person goes around chasing butterflies with a net? Everybody knows you use a hammer. I'm a cat. I thought that bit was obvious. Unless I'm not a cat. Meow? Meow. Nope, cat. Maybe you're not as sharp as I thought. Attack that's seen one too many backsides, huh? Bad for you, worse for them! The priest, silly! You really are clueless, aren't you, plaything? How are you gonna win the game if you can't even find the pieces? Am I gonna have to dangle every answer in front of you like cheese-stuffed mice hanging by their entrails? Ah, that's more like it. Maybe there's hope for you after all. Now hurry your heroic hiney to my playground, or it's gonna be the blind leading the blind out there. Toodles! Can't a fella lick himself in peace? Off with ya! Keep your eye on the prize.
Oh no, stop this madness. Why can't you see reason?
Seeing is the problem, Adoras. That's why we need it.
Maybe we don't need it. This one's claws are sharp. Pop, pop, and we're all saved.
No. Jarl. You are safe. I hope the same may be said about Sarga. Moons, I pray he does not get any other ideas. Hadoras has his hands full as it is. He found these ones searching for a fork to put out their eyes. The Moon Bishop told them that if they blind themselves, they would remain hidden from the dragon's sight. Not just any fork. A two-tined iron fork smelling ever so slightly of roast beef. Please, help me keep them from finding this smelly thing. This one smells meat wafting on the wind. It is not an odor he would call beefy, but he thinks it may be the trail they were following. Hadoras will keep his eyes on these ones, so they may keep their eyes. Because they are insane. Only a sugar-tooth would believe putting out their own eyes would blind the dragon, and even they would have the sense not to do it unless it got them more skooma. I count my blessings that not just any fork will do. Then this one is sure you will have no trouble finding it. Return when you have found it, and perhaps we may convince these ones to give up and return to the temple. You did? What did he... Wait, why didn't you stop him? Dark moons. What sort of childish sorcerer drives clergy to chase after wild beasts and put out their eyes? We must stop this sick puppeteer. But this one can't just leave these fools to their own devices. Find the fork, then we'll give chase.
Hadoras says we are on a fool's errand. If we were all so blind, we would need no forks at all.
If dragons can be blinded with forks in our eyes, perhaps if we sink them further, we can dig out the dragon's brains as well!
If this one must talk in circles with lunatics much longer, he too will go mad. Did you find any offending forks at the campground? Khajiit gets all goose-pimply and the hackles just touching it. Hadoras fears things are even worse than he imagined. This fork reeks of more than beef. It stinks of oblivion. The skooma cat. He must be responsible for our Moon Bishop's strange visions. But how has he spread his madness to the monks? And you said you saw him, in the flesh. An Alfik? The skooma cat should not be able to cross the lunar lattice. If he walks among us, then Joan and Jode must truly be out of alignment. We must check on the temple. Please, you go ahead to the temple. Find our Moon Bishop. Keep her from spreading any more of this madness. Hadoras will meet you there, once he leads these ones to safety without them straying toward any other foolishness. Saizensa, bright as the moons and just as beautiful. One look, and you could tell that Joan and Jode shone their light upon her, and the path forward would be lit by the reflection in her eyes. When she spoke, one would be wise to listen. Not so now. If there is anyone within 2 moons at Tenmar who could see truth through this madness, it would be her. But her eyes are clouded by the Skooma Cat's visions. I fear there will be no reaching her while he toys with us. Before there were the moons, or the world, there were Anur and Fadomai. From their union, all the god cats came, including the one Khajiit known as Sheogorath, the crook-tailed cat who shares his madness with Sugartooths through Skooma. Hadoras does not smell the sick sweetness of the drug upon them. Terrible as it is, the fleeting Skooma dreams would be preferable to this all-consuming madness. On this side of the lattice, it seems Sheogorath needs no sugar to share his lunacy. The lunar lattice formed by Jon and Jode's light separates Nirni from the other god cats and protects her children from the ones who would do us harm. Normally, Sheogorath could only send his mad thoughts across through the perverted moon sugar. This one isn't sure. The mere touch of it makes him want to spit fur, but he must keep it out of the hands of others. Perhaps he will bury it under the squatting sands where it belongs. It is the least that this one can do to keep his kin from teetering off the edge of insanity. Hadoras will be all right. No amount of lingering beef stink will lure this one into putting it into his mouth. Or anywhere else for that matter.
I see you met Forky. Been talking about me again, hasn't it? Such a gossip, that one. But you can hear the option if you stick it in your ears. Give it a try. Doing what? The purring? I don't know. Just happens at the darndest times. Smelling a bowl of cream, laying eyes on a plump ball of yarn, licking me... Oh, wait. I feel a grooming coming on. Who's trying? Oh, sure, you've kept a handful all boring and breathing. But we've been having a right riot in the temple. You ever hear cats always land on their feet? Turns out, it's true. Of course, their feet wind up by their ears, but why split pairs, eh? Stop! Stop! We're just getting to the best part. I think they're really getting the hang of it. Last one got one good bounce in before he spit like a ripe tomato. Oh, I think the Moon Bishop's giving it a go. Don't want to miss that! Best hurry, or you missed the show!
Yes, Cisenza, show us the way!
Walker, you arrive at the perfect moment. You will witness our salvation. Moon Bishop Cisenza said we must ascend with Khenarthi to escape the dragons. True cats will reach the sands behind the stars by stepping between the 2 moons. We have not found the path yet, but now our prophet will show us the way. Oh, have faith. Jon and Jode have shone like beacons for the Moon Bishop. She will lead us all to salvation, and you can join us, Walker.
It was in Tenmar that Rachin found his first love, a bright-eyed doggy-grot with fire in her belly. Ever tried to make love in a tree, Walker? It is not as fun as it sounds.
high. Kinarthi, please lend this one your wings. Saizenza should see where to step. Her vision showed it true. But she cannot see it now. No, this one sees by the light of the two moons. These are not fevered sugar dreams. She saw the dragon spring from the mouth of the world and swallow the moon. She saw her temple turn to ash. She must act before it is too late. Saizenza tried to save them. She sees so much that she is blinded. What is the truth? What are the lies? She can't tell what is real. Yes, I need to sit down. Gather my thoughts.
Oh, no you don't. Get your paws off my favorite painting. Ho-ho, look at you, running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Nothing beats a chicken without a noggin. Believe me, I've tried. You came awfully close to spoiling me fun, though. I like my fun. Why? So you can keep hogging all the toys? No, no, no. These are mine. I licked them. How much more marking do I have to do? Alone? Who wants to be alone? Trapped in their own head until all the life and joy of the world leaks out and leaves an ugly grey corpse. They're better off in my company, sure. Suppose I could let them go, if you'd rather be my plaything instead. Then I whisk you home to where the real fun is. Oh, I haven't hosted company since half-past. You'll love what I've done with the place. It'll be like you never left. Have you there in 2 shakes of a grand bal fit. So, what do you say? Come on, plaything! The game's a face!
Don't know what to do with your warning. Why won't you guide me when I need you now more than ever? I must see. Sacred sugar, uncloud my eyes.
Oh, how the moons twinkle in those glassy eyes. You want to stare off into space and time? I'll show you the future past and present. Look at you, scurrying around, lost as can be. Ever get a feeling like you're a rat in a maze? It's 'cause you are! There you go, trying to play with my toys again. Well, I've had enough sharing. You again. Toys that get in my way wind up back in the box. Is it time to pack you up? Cheese, cheese, cheese. Enjoy a few thousand wheels and suddenly it's all people get you when Sunsnod comes around. Do I look like a rat to you? Am I a rat? Meow. No, still a cat. Off with you then. I've important catting to do. Wait your turn, plaything. There'll be plenty of time for me to chase you around this little maze after I've finished me snack. All these games work up an appetite. Is that cream? Oh, I could go for some fatty bovine discharge right now. Why'd you go and bring it to me in a cup? Cats don't have thumbs! Well, most cats. Why don't I have thumbs? Hold on to that while I grow thumbs. This may take a bit. Oh, cream. Oh, I haven't had cream since I made Otar cry over it.
No! Come back! Saizenza could almost see it. We burn our hair and lay scorched before the dragons. But what then? What then? But the dragons came. Saizenza saw it. They will burn her temple, burn us all, if she doesn't see the path. It feels familiar, like this one has done this before. Is this the future vision, or the vision future? She cannot tell anymore. Help this one, please. Show her. Show.
Hey! I just messed that up! Can't leave a good mess unattended for 1 minute before some hero comes to clean it up! Go tidy your own drawers!
John and Jode have shown me how we may protect our temple.
Bless your eyes, Moon Bishop. What must we do?
We must create an anchor beneath 2 moons to hold our temple between 2 moons.
Apologies, Moon Bishop. This one does not see.
They'll see clear enough once the anchor's built.
The anchor will let you all see as I do. All will become clear soon.
Think you're the cream of the croup, eh? Well, you won't be filling my head with daydreams of sweet cow squeezings this time. I lapped up every last drop. Now what are you gonna do with all that dry toast, eh? Yarn. So soft and bouncy. Just makes me want to bat it around like a newborn babe. No! You're trying to distract me again. Well, I'm not having it. No! Wait, yes! Keep dangling those luxurious ropey threads in my face and you'll find my claws in yours! Off with you! Yarn! Look at it come apart, sure.
Saizenza has seen you at her temple, faithful. She hopes you will help her with this anchor and save it from the dragons. Yes, to buoy our temple through this storm. Joan and Jode have shown it to me, and through it, their light will guide us all to salvation. It will hold open a tiny gap in the lunar lattice, so our temple might slip between the moon's shadows. Nestled between Joan and Jode, we will surely be safe from the dragons. We will tuck it away beneath our temple to hold us firm through these troubled times. Come, I will show you, and we can begin. Ah!
Quit your rattling! I was batting her thoughts into a glorious tango before you came along. Now I'm gonna have to start again. Enough cat and mouse for one day, plaything. It was me the whole time! Are you surprised? I was surprised. All right, yeah, so I did. But then I thought it'd be more fun to just keep you both. I was half right. You're a little too good as a plaything. It's not fair if you're always winning. That's the best part of playing games with lunatics. They're always changing the rules. You'd get it if you just let me whack you on the noggin a few hundred times. No? Well, game's over. Off with you now. Look at you, making demands. In my games. In my realm. All right. One last impossible challenge for you, then. How's that for sporting? Say my name 3 times backwards. Oh, you took the words right out of me mouth. Next you'll be plucking me teeth for a new princely smile. Well, you can't have him. I need him to bite Haskill. Take a bite out of the anchor instead, would you? Farewell, cheese of my dreams. Out you go, before Haskill sees the mess you've made. Neither of us wants to hear that.
Escape this nightmare! Quickly! Hadoras, what have I done?
It was not you, Saizenza. It was the skooma cat that brought these misfortunes.
Walker, this one remembers you from her dreams. Your face, your voice. 2 moons guiding her through the fog. Saizenza cannot repay you enough for this. Saizenza is to blame. The skooma cat would have never caused this chaos, if not for her weakness. She led her Clouder astray, and too many of her disciples had to pay the price. As Moon Bishop, it was Saizenza's duty to protect her temple. But when the time came, she could do nothing without Joan and Jode to show her the way. When the visions did not come, she tried to bring them with the sacred sugar. She is no leader. It is not for her to decide. If Khajiit lost their faith in her, she would not be surprised. This one will beg forgiveness for her failings and accept the will of her Clouder. She was too reliant on her gifts, and a leader must be more than a prophet. For the moment, it is all this one can do to try and restore peace and order to her temple. then will come the true test. She knows the dragons will come to Two Moons, and her Clouder must be prepared. Dragons. So many of them, erupting from the mouth of the world. The skies becoming choked with flame, and cinders raining down on our sands as one of the great creatures devours the moons. Much in my visions is symbolic, but this was so vivid. Moon sugar, refined into a potent liquid, skooma. It is a dangerous thing, abused by sugar-tooths who cannot resist its spell. But it is also a gift of the moons. There are ceremonies where the sacred sugar is used. I thought they could help me. Those who drink and smoke the sacred sugar experience things. During our ceremonies, these things are seen as a premonition or message from the twin moons. But it was the skooma cat that came to me instead. I should have been wise enough to see. He has always been the skooma cat, since Fadumai gave him life and purpose. You may call him Sheogorath, and we Shegorath, but the truth is, he is both. He and his litter mates are cats whose coats are what they want us to see. This one only barely recalls things she saw in the haze, but the image of a man with two heads climbing the stars to hold the moons in darkness sticks with her. It is fit for the dreams of the skooma cat, but Saisenza fears there is some truth to it. This one should have jumped. Why did... Shh. You are wiser not to follow Saisenza. Those who did were the only ones to suffer.
Sharp Claw, Hadoras is glad to see you kept your wits about you. This one thought he too would lose his mind while keeping the priests from getting into trouble. It was like trying to herd mice. After you scared 8 lives from Hadoras jumping through that portal, he convinced his fellow priests to keep within the temple grounds and do nothing too crazy. With a rousing game of Saisenza says. She was not here to contradict Hadoras's white lies, so his foolish fellows were eager to do his bidding. Khajiit did nothing untoward with this newfound authority. We must tend to those who were harmed by the skooma cat's mischief and offer prayers to the moons for those who were tricked out of their lives. I fear, though, that our troubles have just begun. Saisenza's prophecy about the dragons was no deception of the skooma cat, and her prediction that they will swallow Jon and Jode weighs upon this temple and all our realm. We look to our moon bishop for answers, but none are to be found. Khajiit have always followed her without question, but now knowing that her vision may become as clouded as the dark moons, that faith is shaken. Hadoras thinks we must see for ourselves from now on, and not put the burden entirely on our moon bishop. After you scared 8 lives from Hadoras jumping through that portal.
Rada could not find the fork, but he did not need it after all. He looked into the sun and found the darkness. Now they will not find him.
Why is it Hadoras speaks for the Moon Bishop? He did not listen when she said we must blind ourselves. Was it a test? Was Tahari blind to begin with?
Did our Moon Bishop find the path? Rilasu saw her vanish, but Saisenza did not show her the path. Why did she leave us behind? Rilasu would have followed.
Zarga caught them all. He ran and ran and ran, but they could not escape him. Now he can sleep. He will not mistake the beatings of their wings for dragons.
Would you like to hear the fragrant word of Azura? It was she who gave us shape and told us the 3 secrets. She who protected us from the wrath of Ifre and taught us the mysteries of the moons. Ah, yes. Mazdur entered this den of vagrants with the most honorable of intentions. He only wished to share the wisdom of Our Lady of Dusk and Dawn. This is the unfortunate result. That would be most appreciated. This one is sure you'll find the key nearby. Ah, and if you could recover Mazdur's amulet of Azura as well. The bandits' leader, Zareba Sharpclaw, seemed to admire it greatly. It will likely be by her side. Azura bless you, brave Rook. Mazdur must travel many places to spread the word of his lady. Through divine inspiration, his paws follow the path to where Azura feels he is most needed. Unfortunately, he is not always met with welcome. It is true that Mazdur is trapped within this cage, soon to be sold off to vile slavers. But it is also true that you have arrived to save him in this, his hour of desperation. Asura watches over this one always, and so he is never afraid. Mazdur has dedicated his life to the brilliance of Asura. Every morning he sings her praises. Every night he humbles himself with prayer. His days are spent wandering elsewhere, spreading her fragrant word. It was the wisdom of Asura that gave the Kashita many forms, each for its own purpose. It was she who gave us the skills to be exceedingly quick, exceedingly clever, and exceedingly beautiful. How could Mazdur the Moonstruck not honor her? This one's title, bequeathed upon him by his family long ago. Asura was born alongside the moons. This is known. Mazdur is moonstruck, stricken by the beauty and power of the moons, connected to his lady through reverence and wisdom. You have the key, yes? If you would open the cage then. Praise Hasura for your timely intervention, Rook. Come now, let us speak outside.
Many Khajiit are skillful merchants, but none quite so clever as the river traders of Brukra, and none quite so willing to wink at Elsweyr's laws, much to Rachin's benefit.
To the side! Go around!
Mazdur is grateful for such a rescue. Were you able to find his amulet as well? Then you have this one's gratitude. And the gratitude of Asura as well, it seems. Just as Mazdur was leaving, he happened to find something of value. Take it as your well-earned reward. And so Mazdur is once again saved by the intervention of Asura. Through your actions, of course. As of late, this one's thoughts turn to Greenshade. While the Khajiit have always welcomed Asura into their hearts, the Wood Elves still look toward her with apathy. Perhaps it is they who most need to hear her fragrant words. No, Mazdur will be met with hostility. Of this he is sure. But Asura will watch over him and lead this one to those who may be willing. In this he has faith, just as he has faith in the Lady of Dawn and Dusk herself.
Perhaps a direct approach would be the best.